Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Financial Friday. I'm super excited because in this episode, we are going to be talking about financial mapping. So, what is financial mapping? Ultimately, financial mapping is when you look at where you are, where you want to be, and you create a roadmap on how you're going to get from where you are to where you want to be. For some people, this is super easy and it's very clear, and for other people, this is really intimidating. And I think that sometimes it's really intimidating, at least from my personal experience, because we don't have enough income. We're kind of overwhelmed financially, or because we lack understanding of how to actually move from where we are to where we want to be. Like, what's really required? How do we get there? Right? It's really easy for people to say, I want to be a millionaire, or I'd love to have $1 million. But getting down to the details, the nitty gritty of what it is that they want, how they do that, and the steps needed to be taken, that's where a lot of times people have a hard time. So we're going to discuss that, and I'm excited for that. So why is financial mapping important? It's important because we need to be intentional with our finances. If we're not intentional with our finances, money will just flow wherever. Money is energy, and unless we point that energy and direct it in a specific direction, it will go wherever. That's one of the reasons that people are like, I had money, I just don't know what I did with it. Or I thought I had enough and I don't know where all my money goes. Or there's a hole in my pocket. It's because they're not being intentional with their finances. Financial mapping is an incredible tool that allows us and helps us to get a hold of our money and to be more intentional with it. Not only that, but it also allows us to do more of what we love, to enjoy the things that we really want to enjoy, and live our life with intention and purpose. It's very liberating, actually, which is funny because when I first started financial mapping and budgeting and getting a hold of getting a hold of my finances, that's not initially what I thought, and it ended up being completely opposite. So, how do we financially map? It comes in 4 steps, 4 very easy and simple steps, but these steps will take diligence when we actually put them into practice. So, step number 1 is writing down where we are currently. Step number 2 is being detailed about where we want to go. So earlier I said, oh, I want $1 million. That's not detailed. Be very detailed about how much money you want, when you want it, and why you want it. Write that down. How much money you want, when you want it, and why you want it. The next step is to create a game plan, and this is the mapping part. So this is where we're going to say, okay, I want to earn an extra $50,000 a year, and I want to have it in the next 2 years, and that's where I want my income to increase and stay minimum, right? How do we do that? For some of us, that's increasing our income. So maybe changing careers, maybe having a side hustle, maybe starting a business, maybe investing. For others, it might be simply just to decrease our debt. And then for others, it might be acquiring other assets that will pay us. So acquiring businesses or acquiring other assets that will increase our income by that amount. Whatever it is, this step number 3, is not necessarily a quick one. This is one that's going to require diligence, research, brainstorming, processing. This is how we are going to get where we want to be financially. So we want to be very detailed and we want to write it down. Our final step is to take a financial pulse every single month. So now that you have the details and you have a map and you know what action you need to take, it's important to take action every month. And with that action, we need to check our financial pulse, as I call it, get a snapshot of what we're doing financially to make sure that we're on track. So, besides tracking our expenses on a daily or a weekly basis, it's really important that we go through and we look at where we are financially on a monthly basis. And what's included in a financial pulse is our income, our expenses, our liabilities, and our assets. And those four things are really important because we might have a lower income one month, but our expenses might be lower. Or maybe over the past month, we've decreased our liability. So we've gotten rid of credit card debt or student loan debt. And so a slight decrease in our income actually doesn't affect us because we've worked on decreasing our liabilities. Or it could be the opposite. Maybe we have a higher income this month and we notice that our expenses also go up. And so we want to take note of that, capture it, and readjust so that we stay on track with what it is that we want so we get to our end goal when it comes to our finances. All right, that's the end of this week's Financial Friday. I hope that you found it useful and encouraging. Please leave comments down below. Let me know how it goes. Also,